A Russian kamikaze drone Lancet hit a Ukrainian Su-25 subsonic jet aircraft. The attack was carried out at Dolgintsevo airfield in the Dnipropetrovsk region. When the attack took place and the video was taken is unclear, but it appeared on Twitter. Lancet approaches from the right side of the Su-25. The shadow of the drone is on its left side, hitting the fuselage of the Su-25. The drone hit the fuselage section behind the cockpit and near the right wing. As a result of the explosion, a fire broke out precisely in this part of the fighter. It is noteworthy that the plane is armed with missiles but parked in place at the airport. Debris from the explosion flew a few meters behind the Su-25. A close-up shot immediately after the impact shows that the drone hit the joint between the wing and the fuselage. The following footage shows the fire growing. The presence of a fire truck can be seen trying to put out the fire from a distance. This Su-25 will not be able to fly if it is not repaired, although a repair does not guarantee that the aircraft will be functionally ready at all. Lancet hits the Ukrainian fighter 60 kilometers behind the front line. This fact confirms the operational range of the drone, which according to official data from the Russian manufacturer ZALA is over 60 kilometers. 60 kilometers is the minimum operational range, 110 kilometers is the maximum. The Russian loitering munition Lancet became the most successful drone of the Russian army in the war in Ukraine. The drone is highly effective against any weapon system. Autumn Su-25, Lancet already has in its portfolio victims, such as self-propelled howitzers, tanks, Russian and Western, armored personnel carriers, infantry vehicles, etc. An interesting fact is that the Lancet attacked the Su-25 at the same airport where the Lancet also hit the MiG-29 some time ago, as noted by experts and observers. This is happening for the third time, and if Ukraine leaves its aviation in this way, nothing good awaits it. In mid-July of this year, Russian television made a detailed report about the new Lancet drone and its production site. It turns out that Russia is depreciating vacant commercial space, such as malls and shopping centers, abandoned by Western companies to transform them into advanced factories for the production of such weapon systems, as is the case with the Lancet. Alexander Zakharov, the chief drone designer, lauds the design of the drone, labeling it as exceptionally distinctive and strictly confidential. Zakharov alludes to its prowess on the battlefield, illustrating a scenario of concurrent strikes on several targets utilizing multiple launchers. Zakharov includes that the new launcher, accommodating 4 lances, will veer away from the traditional catapult launch method. These drones, completely self-governing, convey information while charting their course to the designated targets. The drone structure sees a stark shift, transitioning from the staple cruciform wing structure to a unique 45-degree circular format. The drones function as a swarm. A crucial facet is that if one drone detects a target, this information is swiftly relayed to the swarm, facilitating a collective attack. Zakharov confided to the Rossiya 1 reporter that intercepting these drones is virtually unfeasible. Their efficacy surpasses that of the Lancet 2. In an explicit response to a Forbes article inferring that the Lancet operated with artificial intelligence, Zakharov clarified that the Lancet relies not on AI, but on mathematical algorithms executing operations in split seconds. Russia's air threats have further complicated Ukraine's push to storm occupied territory in the Zaporizhia region, which is key to Kyiv's bid to snuff out supply lines flowing from Crimea. Ukrainian forces have made bloody and grinding gains, driving a V-shaped wedge into enemy terrain. Liberated territory, however, has been measured by the kilometer, prompting concern in the West that Ukraine's chances to strike a fatal blow to Moscow's war machine are fading as winter approaches. Russia's air threats have further complicated Ukraine's push to storm occupied territory in the Zaporizhia region, which is key to Kyiv's bid to snuff out supply lines flowing from Crimea. Ukrainian forces have made bloody and grinding gains, driving a V-shaped wedge into enemy terrain. Liberated territory, however, has been measured by the kilometer, prompting concern in the West that Ukraine's chances to strike a fatal blow to Moscow's war machine are fading as winter approaches. It's important to know that it's relatively cheap stuff, Melnik said. And Russia has almost unlimited stocks. Lancet drones, in use since the start of the invasion last year, have become one of Russia's signature weapons. The X-winged craft, fitted with a camera in the nose, operates in tandem with a surveillance drone overhead that monitors for targets, giving multiple views of the battlefield, said Yuri Ianat, a spokesman for the Ukrainian Air Force. Lancets have a relatively small explosive payload, weighing about 6.6 pounds, or roughly the same power as a US 120mm mortar round. It is enough to damage and in some cases destroy higher-end Ukrainian equipment, because precision control through its camera allows operators to steer directly into a target's vulnerable parts. Pro-Russia Telegram channels are flooded with Lancet strike videos, which are curated to highlight Western equipment in the crosshairs. In one post last month, the Russian Defense Ministry showed a Lancet purportedly destroying a US-provided howitzer in the Zaporizhia region.